My mother was a mail-order bride, a woman who left war-torn Germany to travel halfway across the world to meet a man she had never seen, someone who had written to her from across the ocean. She was young, alone, and driven by a sense of hope that carried her through the uncertainty of the journey. It was a time when letters were the only connection, a time when dreams were penned in ink and sent across borders, waiting for a response that could change everything. In those days, the idea of crossing an ocean to marry a stranger seemed like a leap into the unknown, but my mother made that leap. The courage it took to leave everything behind, the familiar sights and sounds of her homeland, the safety of her family, and the scars of war, was beyond what most people could comprehend. She traveled from Germany to the vast, uncharted plains of Western Canada, where she would meet the man whose words had drawn her to him. Their story didn't begin with grand expectations, but rather with hope, resilience, and a willingness to build something new together. They met in a small town in the wide, open spaces of the Canadian prairies. The harsh winds and the sprawling fields of wheat were nothing like the life she had known. Yet, despite the challenges, they forged a life together, a life of grit, determination, and unwavering love. For 40 years, they worked side by side, building a home from the ground up. The land was unforgiving, but their hearts were strong. They weathered storms, both literal and metaphorical. Through it all, they made something beautiful, a family. They raised 7 children in that unforgiving landscape, teaching us the same lessons of courage, perseverance, and love that had carried them through their own journey. It takes courage to leave behind everything familiar and step into the unknown. But my mother did it. And because of that courage, we, her children, have inherited that same strength. Every one of us, in our own way, carries a piece of her bravery, a piece of the woman who left everything behind for the chance at a new life. As I look back on her story, I realize that it wasn't just the courage to leave Germany that shaped her. It was the courage to keep going, to keep building, and to keep loving when times were tough. That courage lives on in each of us, 7 children who, in our own ways, have faced challenges. We embrace the unknown and build our lives on the same foundation of strength that our parents created together. 40 years they spent, side by side, building a life from nothing. 40 years of hard work, sacrifice, and love. My mother's story is one of resilience, but also one of hope.